Hey everybody and welcome to my cave. Today we will try to pick the best tennis brand in 2024. Can we have a clean winner here? Or maybe there are more levels to this? Hold on and grab your popcorn and let's go. So, as I was preparing this episode, I had to pick some key factors that would enable me to have a better overview of each brand. Some factors will be very objective, like how many players are there in top 100, top 10, both ATP, WTA, tournament results in 2023, because the previous year is kind of an achieving year and the current year is like a defending year. At least that's how I see it. The subjective factors will be quality control, brand's overall vibe. We will look at the catalogs and discuss potential improvements. So let's first focus on the things that are easier to defend: brand's visibility and participation in top 100 ATP and WTA. Is the potential marketing power, content, storytelling, brand awareness, and obviously it's also a cost. We have four major players here, brands like Head, Wilson, Babolat and Yonex. We have a dark horse, Tecnifibre, and a silent killer, Dunlop. How many players each brand has in top 100 ATP and WTA? Let's check it out and give 1 point for each player. First, let's go with the ATP players. Head is a leader here with 26 players. Next we have Wilson, 24 players. Babolat takes the third spot with 19 players. Then we have Yonex with 18 ATP players in top 100. Tecnifibre 7, Dunlop 5, which is something to work on. Let's look at the WTA ranking. We have Wilson as a leader here with 38 players. Yonex 29, Babolat 20, Head 8, Tecnifibre 3 and Dunlop 1. There might be some more angles to this, like what would it mean to have 99 players in the rankings if they all keep losing to this one top player? How to put value on this? Obviously it's hard to predict the future. Nothing is for granted. That's why brands have to constantly look at the bigger picture and play this game of acquisition. You might have a future starter, future top 10 and maybe top 1. So I gave 1 point for each player in top 10. Wilson, 2 ATP players, 3 WTA players. Head, 4 ATP players, 3 WTA players. Babolat, 2 ATP players, none in WTA. Yonex, 1 ATP player, 3 WTA players. Tecnifibre, 1 ATP and 1 WTA player in top 10. Dunlop has none. And it wouldn't be nice to ignore the champs. World number 1 is no joke. Head with Djokovic, of course, and Tecnifibre with Świątek got 1 extra point. Not so long time ago, Tecnifibre had players achieving world number 1 in ATP singles, Medvedev, WTA singles, Świątek, ATP doubles, Salisbury, WTA doubles, Mertens. How to point that? Past is the past. We're looking at the dandan.tennis channel. Okay, now it's time to give points for the Grammys. It's time to give points for the Grand Slams. 2 points for a winner and 1 point for a runners-up. In 2023, let me check the stats. Oh yeah, of course, Djokovic. 2023 slams were of course dominated with Djokovic, no surprise. He won Australian Open, French Open and US Open. Wimbledon went to Alcaraz's hands, and runners-up goes to Wilson with Tsitsipas, Australian Open. Head for Wimbledon with Djokovic, Yonex with Ruud for Roland, and Tecnifibre with Medvedev at US Open. Now let's check out WTA Grand Slams graph. We have Sabalenka, Wilson, Goff, Head, Vondrozova, Yonex, Świątek, Tecnifibre. Runners-up, Wimbledon and US Open. Wilson, Head at French Open and Yonex at Australian Open. We'll give 2 points for ATP and WTA finals. End of season, the marketing of the tournament is very strong, since you have best 8 players trying to end the season with a statement. The pressure and the level of play is high from the first to last match, so winning this probably tastes delicious. It's like a small Grand Slam. So the champions in 2023 are also a Grand Slam winners with Djokovic, Head, Świątek, Tecnifibre. 2 points. Catalog. Yeah, let's discuss catalogs. The bigger the offer, the easier it is for the coach or academy to recommend something for each player and their preference. It's just like with top 100 players. The bigger the number, the better marketing potential, but also costs go up quite much, so it's a balancing game. Head and Wilson have the biggest offer. Head with extreme, prestige, speed, radical, boom, gravity. So we have 6 lines, and Wilson with Pro Staff, Blade, Clash, Ultra, Shift. 5 lines. I don't count Burn because I don't know. I don't see it anywhere, and I think nobody is endorsing it. But maybe we will see something in the comments. So, in my opinion, Head has the biggest catalog of rackets, and I think the way they organize it is the reference point for every other brand. The naming is pretty clean. They also have this graph showing what to expect from each racket in terms of power and control. Many rackets overlap in their style of performance potential. In my opinion, Head managed to create at least one racket for each player in each line. So, for example, if I am a control-oriented guy, I will still have fun with Extreme Tour, which is their spin and power type of line. If I want something easy to play, I can still pick Prestige MPL, which is very forgiving and has that prestige feel. So the frames are still within the DNA of the line. The basic idea is saved, but they adjust some key specs, moving frame towards certain directions. I think Wilson is moving to that direction as well, but they're not there yet. However, I think I can say they perfected the Pro Staff and Blade line in terms of high level performance rackets, with pretty easy to play specs, so everyone that knows the basic can pick up the frame and have fun and perform, compete, develop. So yeah, the variety of players that can use Blade or Pro Staff is pretty wide. So that's very good. And of course, the endorsements create some hype around the frames. Yeah, it's obviously very exciting to have all those options within each line. And I feel like in 2015, like 10 years ago, players had maybe 1 or 2 rackets from the brand, not from the line. So the options were pretty limited. Let's discuss Yonex frames now. I think they're keeping things very organized, very clean. Their catalog isn't that big, but they keep it very professional. If they had more lines, I would probably put them with Head. By the way, do you guys think is it good to have such a big offer, or maybe lines should be simplified? Let me know in the comments. Okay, but let's go back to Yonex catalog. What is interesting for me is that each professional racket within the line has a very user-friendly specs. Combined with isometric shape and lower stiffness, it's not surprising that Yonex is, at least for me, the most accessible brand. It's like Babolat, but better because the comfort level and feel is improved. Yonex has the best twinners on the market, 100 square inches racket, 16-19 frames. I think they're trying to copy Head by adding Tour edition for each model. We have E-Zone Tour now, V-Core Tour, Percept 97H, I believe it should be named Percept Tour as well. Heavier frames for those more traditional swings or those who demand more stability and plow through. Yonex also has the best quality control on the market. I've had around 10 frames from Yonex and all were perfect for my expectations. I think there is a small gap to fill because the regular rackets are usually a bit too light for me, while the tour versions have huge jump to the other side of preference. I would like something in between, to be honest, and Head is making it better, I think, for each line. Let's go to the Tecnifibre guys. It's an interesting brand because obviously they don't have that many endorsements, but the ones they have are very good, the champions. The rackets to me feel like a hybrid of Head and Wilson rackets. It's hard to explain, like T-Fight 305 is kinda mixing some aspects of a Blade and Speed Pro. TF40 is mixing some aspects of a Blade and Radical, maybe Prestige. At the same time, they managed to put their own twist on the rackets, making it feel like a Tecnifibre and not a copycat. I think this secret sauce is that their top frames are foam filled, which I absolutely love. I will repeat myself, but I believe foam is the best way to make the frame more comfortable and solid at the same time without making it feeling mushy. I would love to see T-Fight line expanding with one more racket. 305 is very head heavy and I usually prefer heavier but headlight frames. They used to have those with Tipsarevich, but now it's gone. I am waiting. Dunlop, well, they're a bit under, but I feel like it's more a financial obstacle rather than a quality issue. They had Anderson in top 5 with CX200 1820. This line is very good, comfortable and feel oriented, kinda mixing some of the most exciting things from Prestige and Blade. They have some new wave of players attacking the ladder, but it's not enough to jump over the fence of other brands, which is sad because maybe they deserve something more, but the game of tennis industry is very unforgiving and dynamic. Changing things burns money really quick. They need to put their steps carefully. I think if a brand doesn't have the financial power to change the game really quick, the best would be to create fundaments on regular players, coaches, academies, YouTubers, tennis reviewers, college players. I believe Soninko kinda got there to the top in US market with their strings. Of course, it's connected with many other factors at that specific time. Industry is constantly changing. Now let's go to Babolat. Well, I am not a big fan of the rackets, but I do like the endorsements. I was a huge Andy Roddick fan. Carlos Alcaraz is a very cool guy. It's like you see the sun above him, smiling, no pressure, life is good, I love it. Team, very hardworking and a humble guy. Nadal, similar work ethic and a true legend. I think they lost many players, especially on WTA side, moving to Yonex. I see Babolat as a brand that puts performance above feel and comfort. For my game style, it's not a good combination. I don't attack too often, and I don't like if the frame is springing too much. This little trampoline effect takes away my confidence. But if someone is a first striker player, then Babolat sounds like a good match for him. I think Pure Strike for me is the best potential racket. I had Project 1.7 in my hands once, but to be honest, I didn't like it. Tennis Warehouse guys love it, but you know, yeah, we are all different. It just didn't have enough feel for me. Dwell time is quite short and the string bed feels kinda dead while the power level is high. It's weird. I hope I will put my hands on US Pure Strike, but let's see if I can find some time for this. Now, what is the brand's overall vibes that I'm feeling? For Wilson, I feel this pressure of legacy and goal-oriented approach. It's a serious brand and all the paint jobs look very mature and clean. It's very elegant. With Head, I feel like they're aware of their legacy, but they don't want to put it out everywhere. They're a bit more relaxed and positive, but slightly less elegant, cheerful. Babolat, to me, is a brand of many faces. The paint jobs are clean, but the overall designs and performance are fun-oriented. They are kinda elegant, but not exactly the way Wilson is making it. And their players aren't exactly elegant either. They are fun, they are here for the good moments. Nothing wrong with either styles. It's not like everyone has to be elegant now or has to be always smiling, just trying to underline the good sides of each brand and style of living. Now, Yonex, obviously, Japanese attention to detail comes to my mind, but the designs are kinda focused on forgiveness and easy performance. The entry level for those high performance frames is not that high, so this brings some fun to the brand. I see Yonex as a slightly toned down version of a Babolat, leaving more space for the players to complete the story. You can be very elegant, you can be a joker. Obviously, Kyrgios is completing the story for me, and Tommy Paul is this reflection of a toned down player, always positive but relaxed. Same with Ben Shelton. Americans in general, maybe. They're here to compete, yes, but also to have fun. This positiveness is always exciting. Tecnifibre, I think, is not yet defined. They are kinda in the process of building this story with Medvedev and Świątek on the front line. For now, we can see that their favorite color is white. They want to be elegant, maybe seen as a wise brand, maybe humble. They keep things very clean. It's like they managed to find this middle ground between all the brands and are scared to move outside their comfort zone. They're rising, they're winning, so they're focused on not losing rather than winning, maybe. The overall vibe is that they're very professional and serious, but not to the point where you might feel overwhelmed, which is a good thing. Dunlop, so I think they have the biggest job to do regarding their identity. I feel like they're following the script already written by other brands. Maybe I feel this because they don't have too many endorsers to complete the story. The CX line is similar to Prestige and the overall performance is indeed similar to Prestige. Their SX line, yellow, is Babolat Pure Aero. Their FX line is a reflection of a Pure Drive. I guess they want us to think that the frames are true alternatives to the frames the color is representing. I know Yonex also have blue and red rackets, but the tone of the color is a bit different, and the Victor line, red, is actually their spin-oriented racket, not control-oriented racket like with Prestige. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. What do you guys think? I won't give any points for the overall vibe because it's too subjective and there is no better or worse here. Okay, now let's go to the total scores. We can see that the overall winner is Wilson, but if we choose to pick the brand that wins more often in each category, then we would have to pick Head. It's kind of clear that Head has to do something big in WTA. If not increasing the total amount of top 100 players, then at least have this one champion that can win almost every time. I think with each endorser, the credibility of the frame kinda improves. Good story can be everything in marketing. So, congrats to Wilson and Head, especially Head, as this is my pick for the best tennis brand in 2024. Let's see what the future brings. Let me remind you that I am in the middle of selecting my future racket of choice. What racket do you think will win the tournament? I don't know yet, but I'm very excited. See you soon. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Make me feel beautiful. I'm a professional. Who am I? Dandan.tennis.